Hello everyone, nice to see you again. Today I'm going to share another story with you, and it's called Shark in the Dark. And I want you to have a little think when I'm reading the story about how the characters were able to work as a team. Down at the bottom of the deep dark sea, something is stirring and it wants its tea. His teeth are like knives and his eyes are small and beady. He's big, he's mean, and he's terribly greedy. Watch out, little fishes, watch out for the shark. Watch out for the great hungry shark in the dark. The flounders were floundering. Here comes the shark. The turtles were terrified. Here comes the shark. Oh, help, moaned the mackerel. The shark's on its way. We don't want to be in his belly today. And all of the fishes were flustered and bumbling. Here comes the shark, and his tummy is rumbling. Now fish, smiled the shark, it's been ages since lunch. I just want a wee fishy, something to munch. Just the tiniest, tastiest, fishiest snack. So please, grinned the shark in the dark. Hey, come back! No way, cried the crabs. We don't mean to sound selfish, but inside a shark is no place for shellfish. That's right, cried the cod. We don't want to be tea. Please go back, Mr. Shark, to the dark of the sea. Oh, I will, sneered the shark, when I've had a few shoals for my tea, or fresh lobsters, perhaps, or some soles. And he opened his jaws, and his laughter was manic, and put all of the fish in a terrible panic. Away swam the fish, all desperate to hide, far from the sharks with his jaws open wide. Hello, said a squid. What's going on here? What's all of this fussing? What is there to fear? Help, flapped the fish. We're afraid of the shark. The big greedy shark who lives down in the dark. He's coming to eat us. He's coming right now. How can we keep him away? Tell us how. I see, frowned the squid. So the shark think it's clever to push you around because he's bigger than you. Well, I've got a plan which will make sure that he'll never swim this way again. Now here's what we'll do. So along swam the shark, and he peered all around with his mean beady eyes, but no fish could be found. That's funny, he grumbled. Where have they all gone? They can't all have vanished like that, every one. And then, in the distance, he saw a dim shape. Ah, thought the shark, this small fish won't escape. But the closer that the fish got, the bigger it grew. And it grew and it grew into something he knew. A shadowy head and the shadowy tail, and a gigantic wide open jaws of a whale. Hey, boomed the whale, come right here, little fish. I'm peckish. You're small, but you'll do for a dish. I've come a long way. I need food in my tummy. Dinner of a shark sounds delicious and scrummy. With a shiver and a shudder, the shark wailed, oh heck, there's no way I'm going to swim down your neck. And then with a flick and a flash of his fin, the shark shouted bye with a half-hearted grin. And back to the dark fled the shark in a fright, as the whale swam slowly into the light. You see, laughed the squid, when we all got together, we taught him a thing he'll remember forever. So can you see how all the fish together worked as a team to trick the shark from the dark? So Mr. Morris is going to talk to you a little bit more now about how you can work as a team this week. See you all again soon.
Okay, welcome to this week's assembly. And this week's assembly is on teamwork. So I know Miss Florence has read a book which speaks all about teamwork and kind of all the benefits which can come from working together as a team. So, what is teamwork? It might be quite simple, but have a little think. Teamwork is the working together of a group to achieve a common goal or to complete a task in the most effective and efficient way. So it would be, for example, you and your friend working together to achieve the same thing. So a common goal is a goal where multiple people are aiming towards the same thing. And the effective and efficiency is just how quickly and how well you can get the job done. Think of a time where teamwork has helped you complete a task. So I can think of loads of times in every single day where the PE team, they help me complete lots of tasks, other teachers around the school, even children, the amount of times I've asked children to help me set something up or pack something away, and that's all about teamwork. If they didn't do that, I would never be able to do it. It would take too much time and I'd be rushing, so that teamwork is so important. What makes a successful team? So, I've listed a number of things here, but there are countless kind of elements which go into a successful team. So, we've got they communicate well with each other, they focus on goals and results, everybody contributes their fair share, they offer each other support, team members are diverse, the team have clear direction, and the team are organised. So just to run through a few here, communication is so important, and that's just day-to-day life. Communication is key, especially when you're aiming to get a job done. If you don't talk to each other, you're never going to know what someone else is doing or what you need to do. They focus on the goals and the results, so they focus on what they want to get to and how they're going to get there. Everybody contributes their fair share. It's no good if you're doing 99% of the work and the rest of the team are only doing 1% of the work. That's going to take you much longer to finish something. Offering each other support, that's so important as a team, whether it's a little bit of advice or a little bit of constructive criticism, just to make sure that the results are as good as they can be. Team members are diverse, so if everybody was good at the same thing, it wouldn't be that great. Everybody's good at certain stuff and some people aren't as good at other stuff, and that's why working as a team is so important, because you can help others where they're weak and they can help you where you're weak. There's lots of stuff that Mr. Pryor and Mr. Clark are fantastic at and I'm pretty rubbish at, so they can help me, and then vice versa the same. So stuff they're not so good at, I hope I can help them because I'm a little bit stronger in that area. So how can teamwork help? So what's the point in teamwork? So it can help make a difficult task easier. As I said, if you've got a really difficult task and you're trying to do it on your own, it's going to take a hell of a long time. And like I say, if you can't do something, you're going to have to teach yourself all the way from scratch to learn how to do it. If you're working with someone, they might already know how to kind of work on that. They might be able to do that straight away. You can use your strengths to help others' weaknesses and vice versa. So as I said in the previous slide, your strengths might be somebody else's weaknesses, and somebody's weaknesses might be your strengths. And that is so important. You can help each other out where you need it. Putting your ideas together, when there's more of you, you can have a discussion. You can talk about what you think will work, what you think might not work. Achieving a common goal and motivation. When you're working with people, you don't really want to let anyone down, so you have that level of accountability as well, so you feel like you need to do it. The same when we are through your working on Seesaw, you know that your teachers are looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing it, so you have that kind of motivation more to get it in. And I know when I'm working in a team, I don't want to let anybody down. I want to work as hard as I can for myself, but as well for my friends. When I've always played football, I would always try really hard, and it wouldn't be for me, it would be for the whole team. What can we learn? So we've got certain stuff here about some animals which have shown us how amazing teamwork can really be. So we've got ants. They all have specific jobs. So some are worker ants, some are all about laying eggs to make the colony grow, and they are so strong individually, they can actually lift up to 10 times their body weight. But together, they are unbelievably strong. You can see in a little picture here, they've actually made a bridge so they can cross it. I'm sure you may have seen a number of ants carrying some food or something, and they really do help each other out. And like I say, they are so strong individually, but collectively they're even stronger. Dolphins. So the way dolphins communicate is basically how they survive. So they use vocal calls, they slap their tails, and they use different methods of communication to kind of direct where to go, to help lead the rest of the dolphins where to go, and to protect each other as well. So like warning warning calls. And they do all this they can do this over miles and miles and miles. And as we've discussed, communication is so important. Just talking to each other, whether it's positive or negative, it means you can kind of sort everything out and get things in the open and listen to one another and kind of, again, pick up on strengths and weaknesses. And then we have the flying V formation, which is used by the Canadian goose. And what it is you can see in a picture here, a number of geese will fly in a V formation. When they're in that V formation, the leader, so the one at the point of the V, will be working the hardest. And what they do, they actually rotate who's at the front depending on who's tired or who's sick, for example. So say if this one here started to feel sick, the one right at the front, that one would go to the back and the new one would take the lead. So they take on all of kind of the going against the wind. They get the hardest part, but they take turns. So they look out for each other. Before I move on, just talking about teams, it's not always a group of the best individuals who make the best teams. You need your team members to be good at lots of different stuff. Like I said, if everyone was amazing at something and almost perfect, but not so great at something else, but you're all the same, you would never ever be able to do the things you're not that good at, unless you put in a lot of work. But if you get people who are good at something, good at that, good at this, good at that, then everyone can contribute and almost make like a whole. And that whole is where everyone contributes. And you're kind of up here, everybody builds up here. Instead of everyone being up here, but no one can do the stuff down here, you're never going to be able to kind of get to where you want to be. So, moving on from teamwork, I have another 7 tasks for you to look at. Some are very similar because some do require some practice, but we'll go over them in a minute. So, we've got your first task is to try some new food. So I know I've always been kind of laughed at a little bit by some of my friends because I actually only tried pizza, I think it was just over a year ago, and I actually love it now, but I never ever tried pizza for years and years and years. I only tried it for the first time a year ago, and I love it now. Speak a different language. So can you try and learn 10 new words in a different language? So you can do this with some family, whether it's just hello, how are you, what are you doing? Just see if you can kind of get an interest in a different language, and then you can also send some stuff into our teachers at Cecil and we can translate it. Help a family member with a task. So this could be the people who look after you, it could be a sibling, and just trying to work on something with them, something that they might struggle with, or something that they just might want to hand with, whether it's housework, some cleaning, or you've got some siblings who are doing work and you want to help them out. It's just a really nice kind of feel-good thing to do. Create your own board game with your family. So, I know the PE team have sent out a Monopoly game, which we made. I wonder if you can kind of make up your own board game. Again, you can send your pictures in and just set of rules through on Cecil. Practice your mindfulness meditation. So I know this was on last week where we focused purely on mindfulness. But if you remember, I spoke about how practice does make perfect. So you need to actually practice this quite often to become good at it, and then eventually it will become natural and you won't even have to practice it. Write down 5 things that you are grateful for. So again, that can be anything. So that could be family, that could be pets, that could be school, that could be your friends you have, that could be that you actually get to play with your favourite toys. And that's really good. And again, it actually makes you think about what you've got in your life and what there is to actually feel happy for. And then here, this one's looking forward to a little bit in the future, because I know everything's a little bit difficult with the pandemic at the moment, but here, I want you to think of a hobby that you would like to start when you can. So is there something that you've always really wanted to do, but never really had the opportunity, and where everything's been taken away from us for such a long time now, it seems? Why don't you have a little think to see if there's anything that you can kind of that you look forward to doing, something you want to learn, whether that's playing a different instrument, whether that's learning a new language, whether that's swimming lessons, whether that's joining a sports team, and just have a little think, and then hopefully when things come back to normal, it's something we can sort out, and actually the school can even try and help and point you in the right direction. So that is the end of your Monday assembly. So the key points are, remember, teamwork makes the dream work, okay? So working together as a team is so important. You can have 11 of the best football players on the same pitch, being on the same team, and they could lose to some average players just because they work well for a team. If everybody runs forward, because everyone wants all the goals, no one's going to be left at the back. So when they haven't got the ball, they're going to be very exposed. So remember, teamwork is key. No matter how little the task is you're doing, if you're working on something, you're leading to the common goal which you're all aiming for, okay? Remember, all this, get back to us on Seesaw. Let us know how you found the assembly, your thoughts on teamwork, and again, what you've learned through working for a team, experiences you've had when you've worked in a team, or when you haven't worked in a team, and you feel that, you know, if I worked in a team, it could have turned out better. And your 7 new tasks. Remember, it doesn't matter if you do 3 in a day, if you just do 1 in a day, or you want to do 1 a day all the way for the 7 days. It is entirely up to you, but let us know how you get on, and I'll see you soon.